Hi everyone, my name's Pan. Welcome to an edition of Bluebird Corner, the Cardiff City Fans podcast. So before we look ahead to next Tuesday's home game against Barnsley in League One, we'll look back at yesterday's game and also the shocking performance by Paul Howard, the referee. This guy was an absolute disgrace. Got to the game just before kick-off and really looking forward to the match. Crowd nearly 20,000, 1,400, 1,500 Stockport County fans making the trip down. And, obviously their manager, Dave Challoner, very good manager for League One. So we knew this game was going to be very, very competitive. Stockport were favourites to win the league pre-season. And obviously a lot of City fans like myself weren't sure what we were going to do this season. Bear in mind, we got rid of 14, 15 players. And obviously the new manager coming in, unreal experience. It was at Rochdale as a manager, so it was unknown. But yeah, we got into this match, top of the league, Stockport County fourth. But that bloke in the black was a disgrace. And, I think when I look at referees, I look at three types of referees. You've got referees who are overzealous. They just basically dishing out red cards willy-nilly for, tackles that deserve a yellow at best, giving out yellows too early in the game. Then you've got the refs who are really good, who can read the game, understand the game. Every ref makes mistakes. We know that, especially with no VAR in the lower leagues. But let's be honest, there are some good referees out there. And they're referees like yesterday who basically don't control the game. I think in like 17 games he's refereed. He's refereed mainly National League, League Two, the odd League One game. He's never given a red card. Now, you can look at that and say, well, that's really good, isn't it? That's a referee who knows, he doesn't want to dish out red cards and ruin the game. But, from a player's point of view, if they know that that ref is reffing their game, the manager will just say, right, okay, you can stick it on him a bit more. And that's basically what happened in the game. And I'm not just saying about Stockport County's players' tackles on our lads. There were a few challenges that the referee should have given to them during the game. But, to me, it was two clear red cards. I mean, the Salek incident was really unfortunate, but we definitely should have had a free kick at least for that. Hill's challenge on Salek. I mean, obviously he fell on him, which caused the neck injury. Thankfully, Salek looks like he's okay. Early reports were he could have broken his neck. I mean, it was a 15-minute delay, wasn't it, on the pitch, and it looked really serious. But I think in terms of the challenges, there was a slide through tackle. For me, that was a straight red. And the other incident, really, I mean, this is typified this referee. The ball was on the right hand side. I think it was in the grandstand side, and it was in play. And the referee had already called a throw in to Stockport County before even the ball had gone out. And the linesman had an opportunity to put his flag up. I mean, that's the other thing as well. The linesmen these days, they've got no backbone at all. I mean, they should be, they're another pair of eyes on either side. They should see things the referee may not see and alert him and get the flag up, have a conversation. So it's not just the referee, but that referee lost control of the game. I mean, after Salek went off, his head had gone. He just basically didn't know what he was doing. And the main point about a weak referee in terms of not controlling a game is, as I said, opposition teams will come down and they'll go, right, okay, with him in charge, we can put another tackle, we can put an aggressive tackle in, okay, at worst, we might get a yellow. I think, he's averaged, really low on yellow cards as well. If you look back at all his games he's officiated, and the assessor for that game needs to take all this into account. And I can never see that guy refereeing higher than League One. He shouldn't even be in League One. I to be honest with you, he shouldn't even be refereeing at all, because he for the player's safety on the pitch, he doesn't do anyone any favours. So, yeah, I think from that point of view, an absolute disgrace. In terms of the game itself, I think Stockport dominated the first 20 minutes or so. They came out aggressive, high press, put Trot under pressure. It was some moments when Oshu had the ball, you think, oh my God, here we go again, Bradford-esque. He's going to make a mistake. And they deserve to go in front. I thought if you look at when the ball was played through, and as I said, I didn't watch it after I come home, but I'm only going on what I saw during the game. I thought that when we were sort of backing off defensive, I thought Chambers wasn't sure whether to go to the guy to the right of him, which I thought was Bagan's role. But what he should have done is gone to the guy who was running towards our box, who had the initial shot. And then obviously the lad Wotton came in and scored. Trot, obviously, parried the save, so it could have gone anywhere. And we're 1-0 down, and obviously they deserved the lead. I think obviously the Salek injury lifted us a bit. I think we definitely played better on the restart. And I thought Tanner on the right at times he frustrates, doesn't he? I think he's sort of tried to pass a player, but then he sort of loses kind of not concentration, but kind of like I don't know what about him. He gives off this like negative energy sometimes. But credit to him, late on in the half where he did get a nice ball in, a bit of intelligence really, looking at where Joel Colwell was on the edge of the box, and Joel Colwell's control, turn, and shot really was fantastic. It actually dipped, and he wasn't far out. A lot of players, like even his brother, would have skied that, and that was a really good goal. So I thought Joel Colwell played well, and then obviously we deserved to get back in it. Second half, I thought we had a lot more of the game. I thought we controlled possession, we controlled territory, and I think that obviously Robertson had that chance, didn't he, that Hinchliffe saved. Ashford was unlucky where, I think he should have been a bit sharper when he was just sort of 8 yards out in the centre of the box. Came off Hills, who nicked it for a corner. And there was one or two other sort of instances of game. I think they had, a good chance with crossing. I think Wintle was magnificent, really, wasn't he? He just got in ahead of their striker. But yeah, I think second half we had opportunities to win that game, and you could say 1-1 was a fair result, but I think overall the balance of play, I think we deserved to win that game, but we're still well clear of the top. And I think Stockport, to be fair, they're a decent team, but I got to say, Hinchliffe, their goalkeeper, and Hills, the way they acted at the end of the game was a total disgrace, picking themselves up as if they were, top players. Hinchliffe looks like as if he's a Parks player. He made one decent save from Robinson, but the way he was sort of giving it to our fans at the end was a disgrace. And as was Hills, as a professional footballer, Salek, he didn't know. I mean, Salek could have broken his neck. As I said, that was unacceptable, the way he sort of bigged himself up at the end to our crowd. So anyway, that's it. So we go on to the Barnsley games next Tuesday. Top of the league, Barnsley are well down the league, but they have got 5 games in hand over Huddersfield, and if they won those games in hand, they would be in the playoffs. I mean, they've had a few games called off. They've had FA Cup games. I think they had a game against Liverpool. Barnsley's last game, they drew with Reading 2-2 away. They didn't have a very good December. I think they only actually won 2, lost 5 of 7 games in December. But in January, they've done a bit better, drawing and winning a game. So, Barnsley are obviously you look at the league table, you think, oh, well, comfortable home win for us. But I don't think it'll be like that, because I think they're in a false position at present. So we'll have a look at the game in detail now. I mean, City, as I said, top of the league, we're doing really well. And they obviously Barnsley, as I said, we've actually beaten Barnsley 29 times and drawn 14. We played them 57 times in total. And the last time we played them was in 2022 when we beat them 1-0. And the last loss we had was in 2016 at home, where we lost that game 4-3 at home. Some of you may remember that. Our biggest win was back in 1957 when we actually beat them 7-0. And our biggest defeat to Barnsley was going back to 1931, where we actually lost 4-1. Now, as regards to players who played for both sides, well, Michael Tropler, our star striker, was played for Barnsley. Michael Boulding, Chris Barker, Stephen McPhail, and John Parkin, as well as Kadeem Harris. And Barnsley's all-time great players, well, their number one great player is Neil Redfern, then there's Ronnie Galvin, Tommy Taylor, Adam Hannell, Ashley Ward, John Hendry, Craig Hignett, Trevor Eilert, Kieran Tippier was also there, John Stones, Danny Blanchflower, and others like Mick McCarthy, who obviously managed Cardiff City. So, yeah, in terms of the fixture, the sides for Tuesday, well, there could be a couple of changes, obviously, with the turnaround of games. We expect Trott, obviously, to be in goals with NG right back, Bagan left back, Chambers. We're not sure, again, I don't know, I'd like to see Lawler come in and Fish. I mean, it would be great to freshen it up, I think, in defence with Wintle in front. I thought Ashford was ineffective on the left. But probably what he'll do is he may start with Ashford on the right and look to have Kellyman in there with Robertson for this one. I think Joel Colwell was one of the better players, though, for yesterday's game, so maybe unlucky. But again, it's the turnaround of games. I think Kellyman was very, very good before his little, break in games. And on the left-hand side, well, Willock may come back. And they'll probably start, obviously, with Robinson, even though Salek, was not a serious injury. Being on the ground for 15 minutes, obviously was in a bit of discomfort. And I wouldn't expect him to fully train on Monday. As for Barnsley, as I said, they're in a bit of a false position because of the games they've had called off. Goodman in goals. They tend to play a 5-4-1 formation. O'Connell, Shepherd, Watson, Ogbeta. O'Keefe, Cleary, Kelly, Bland, Phillips, McGoldrick. They did actually bring on Keeler Dunn, who I don't know if he's coming back from injury because, obviously Keeler Dunn, who they signed from Mansfield for $750,000, has done really well. Scored 20-odd goals, I think, for Mansfield, came to Barnsley, scored a few goals for them, and is being touted for a big money move. Is regarded as probably one of the top 3 strikers in League One. A lot of Championship clubs are looking at him. I think Barnsley would definitely accept a bid of $5 million, but I think a lot of clubs are looking at paying $3.5 million for him. So he may well go in this transfer window. So we'll have to watch this space. But they have got some good players. But Goldrick, obviously, he's got a lot of experience, and they have got one or two really decent players in that side. And as I said, with the amount of games in hand they've got, they could easily be back in the playoffs above Huddersfield. Now, as for predictions for this game, well, as I said, the turnaround games come thick and fast. But I do think that City can win this game 2-1. I think, obviously, Kellyman coming back, maybe they'll freshen up in central defence and maybe move Ashford for the full game to the right. I'm going to go City 2, Barnsley 1, but it won't be easy at all. As I said, Barnsley are a good team, and I expect them to score as well. I mean, they've conceded a few goals, but they do score goals as well. I think they've conceded something like 37, scored 36. So they are prone to conceding a couple of goals a game, but as I said, they tend to score. So I'm going to go for City 2, Barnsley 1. It'd be great to hear your thoughts about yesterday's match. What did you think of that referee? What did you think of our performance? Do you think 1-1 was a fair result? And in terms of players who played well, who didn't play well in your view? And for Tuesday's game, what about the score prediction? And who would you like to see in the side? So it'd be great to hear your thoughts at Bluebird Corner. And we'll try and do a podcast after the game as well. Have a good evening, and we shall see you soon. Take care.